So today we're going to do some battery stuff. We're going to kind of demonstrate how these Fox batteries are working, but before I do that, I want to go back into some history. Back in 2009, 2010, 2011, things have changed a lot since then. And back in 2011, one of the first projects we did was my own house with a very small battery, but we used a Schneider inverter, which I believe we did a story on quite in depth. And they were a very good inverter working with batteries. We could use any battery at all we wanted with that, as long as it was a 48 volt. And the inverters themselves were built to run pretty well 24/7, 365 for 10 to 15 years. One of the other projects we'd done back then, besides my own house, was another gentleman up the road, which had a log home, big log home. He was back in the woods, and we put a Schneider inverter in for him, and that project is still running today. So from there, we've done roughly 100, 110 projects with the Schneider inverter. 60 or 70 of those are online. We still monitor them today and deal with the customers upgrading. But of course, the Schneider inverter is no longer available. So a couple of years ago again, Fox, one of our large inverter supplier, was getting into the hybrid inverters. So we were really hoping to continue with them on their batteries. And they were too slow getting them out. And right around a year ago, Schneider decided to no longer provide us with that hybrid inverter. They are building something else, but that's down the road. So we had to get another battery as soon as we could to replace the Schneider. So we tried a grow watt, which worked out fairly well, but we just didn't find, we weren't comfortable enough with their service department. Early last spring, we did a video on Anchor, which is a really beautiful looking battery and very simple, nice for the customers. The app is really nice. And it also worked with the grid net metering projects that we're doing. Had a really good setup. So we're really hoping to stick with them for the next 10 or 15 years, much the same as Schneider. As far as the off-grid goes, reliability 24/7, I'm not really sure. I don't know if we'll ever have a transformer-based inverter with the reliability of Schneider. It's just the competition's too high, and they just don't put the money in like they used to. Anyway, the Anchor was a really good battery, but they couldn't get into the North American market, so they decided to no longer provide us with that battery, which is very disappointing. We've got, I think, 10 or 15 of those batteries out, 10 for sure, and they are going to look after those for warranty purposes for the next 10 years because that's what their warranty period is. We started looking around again for a really good battery, somebody that was going to be reliable and provide good service. So that's when the Fox company, Fox is actually a Chinese company as well. They've been used pretty well all over Europe, and they're one of the fastest growing companies in the Europe market, but they've come to North America. They've been producing some of their inverters and batteries right in the United States. The company, our supplier in Toronto, has worked a deal with Fox from Europe, and they're shipping them direct into Canada. These ones that we have here are actually from the US because I wanted to get my hands on them. We've actually got several projects we got to get going at here this spring with them. So, and right today we're going to be doing we're going to put one together, the first one actually. The North American representative for Fox was going to fly up and meet us here, but it didn't work very well with his schedule. So he's going to join us on a Zoom meeting. So we're going to do a little videotaping of that as well. That's where we're at with Fox. Fox looks very similar to the Anchor product. I actually have an Anchor here to kind of look at and compare with the Fox control hub. But that brings us up to today and why we're moving. Seems like we're moving through a lot of batteries companies, but things have changed so fast, and some companies are staying ahead of it and some companies aren't. And we're just trying to keep ahead of it as well. The technology is moving so fast that we're hoping to be able to have a really good product, reliable for all our customers. So now we're going to get into unboxing it. So we'll grab one here. And Nigel's here and he can help me with this. If anybody knows Nigel. So if you want to come over, we're just opened the Fox hub. This is not the battery, but this is the hub which controls the flow of electricity from your grid, your battery, and your solar panels, and also if you have a generator in your house. Very similar to the Schneider system that we used in the past. The only thing is it's separate. For the hub, it's actually a control unit, and we will have a quick look at this and see what comes in the box. Obviously, some of these things we're going to be using as we install today, but that's the base pattern for bolting it up. We have a set of CTs. Actually, there's two sets of CTs. One's for the generator, I believe, one's for the grid. We have a communication dongle and some nuts and bolts. Once we take that out, we're just gonna pop that out, and then we can get into the actual hub unit. It's not that heavy, and you can see the size of it. And what I did is I put our anchor system right beside it, and the anchor system is almost exactly the same control system. So it does the same thing. It'll run the grid, a generator. It'll bring your solar power through it to charge batteries and such. When we look inside, there are a couple of differences that we're going to get into here very shortly. One of the nice things about the anchor, which I liked, this door just pops right out. And then this plate here is it's all metal, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about bonding. And then we can get into the actual bus bars and all that. There's lots of room in the anchor. On the Fox, it's a little bit tighter, it's a little smaller, and there's a lot more in it as well. It has a couple of spots here for your loads that we're going to get into a little later on today. But you can actually control those loads if you've got excess power. So if your batteries are full, instead of feeding power back to the grid, a relay will trip and you can charge your electric car or run a water heater or whatever, maybe an air conditioning unit or furnace. So that's a little bit different than the anchor. And inside, it's very similar. It's just a little bit heavier on all these here bus bars, and if you're an electrician, you would probably be able to see that pretty quickly. There's actually a 260 amp bus instead of a 200. And some of these bus bars here, they were 80s, and on this unit here, it's 100 or higher. There's the quick breakdown of it, and we'll wait for the rest of the crew to get here, and then we'll start building it. Thank you. Yeah. Perfect. Look at that. It does come off.
It's very similar to the anchor.
Very similar. Yeah. One of the big differences is that they do have 200 amp disconnects instead of a single one.
Okay.
So there's a lot of flexibility. Like you can see these 3 load breakers that are in here. They're actually controllable, programmable, so that you can turn them on or off at certain loads.
Okay.
Or if instead of feeding power back to the grid, you can charge your car or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, we're going to have a Zoom meeting with the North American representative at 12, from 12 to 1. And the question I have is, they're not approved for 200 amp full home backup.
Mm-hmm.
Where this one here, they do show in the instruction manual that you can do it, But according to the sales rep, we can't do a whole home. National Electric Code, there's something missing. I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
But anyway, other than that, yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. Set her here in the middle. So this here is the
You found the book.
the manual on it, but so it works much the same as the anchor,
Yeah.
where each unit puts out so much amperage, so you can add it together, multiple units. The only difference,
Okay, so this is the power cue here. This is this unit here.
the top unit, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
This doesn't look like it mounts to a wall.
No, that's your base.
So this is going to be on the ground at all times?
Yeah, they got to go on a concrete pad,
Okay.
but there is a wall fastener, so just to hold it from tipping.
Tipping for
Yeah.
2 owners. So that is.
Too comfortable.
So we're just about ready to start mounting. We researched it all. We dug into the diagrams, and I think we know how it's going to go together. So it's 5 to 10. We'll see how long it takes to get everything at least set up and ready to wire. So that's the plan. Yeah, we'll put it back. So we need 4 more.
Or I thought they were feet at first.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 2 of them. So.
Well, I mean, feet for the front, anchor to the wall in the back.
All right.
We're going to need to bring the PV down through this wall into here.
In other words, we can't run PV wire straight into the house. Have to run in.
Yeah, through a metal
Yeah.
sleeve.
Yeah. And that's why tech wire works good for that.
Along with the reset and resetting the wire. We'll find out in a second. They're not spread out, positive, negative.
What's that?
Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. They're not split one
Oh,
from
yeah.
the other.
It's a little bit different, yeah. That's why we're all here today.
Yeah.
And if we can do this in 4 or 5 hours on the first time, I'm sure we can do it in 3 hours in real life. Well, maybe not. Might have to drill through a concrete wall.
How does it go?
Yeah.
This is going back to that panel though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just going into the main grid panel, but we're not going to read the whole power for the whole house
No.
shot. Although that is an 11.4, I'm pretty tempted to wire it directly into my house and see if it'll run my house. Supposed to. I only have surge loads of like 6 or 7 kilowatts, which is nothing. Yeah, it pushes quite hard. I had. So, you got her. Are we done?
We just gotta connect that to there and then it's done.
Need the piece of number 6.
Yeah.
Is there any in the van?
Need to be 3 or can it be 2?
Ground, neutral,
Feeder ground?
2 lines. Yeah.
Going to the breaker? Only has to be 2. We'll have them online. Like Anchor, actually. Anchor shuts everything off.
I like this. This is clean.
But yeah, no, it looks like you have a pretty cool system behind you that I see on the wall. So that looks good down there.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have your
I
backup
think so.
loads in. right on that side with the red. That's perfect. Your grid CTs, you have those plugged in. I'm assuming that's the main grid. Hey, look at this guy. That looks good. So with those CTs, do you have those facing the
Towards the
power
grid.
supply?
Yeah, they're going towards the supply.
Beautiful. So beautiful. And then let's look up towards the top for the communications portion of it. If you could zoom in up there. Looks like so for the communications, you will need communications going from the inverter to the hub. So this little CT is only for AC coupled systems. That's the only time you're ever going to use it. You'll always have 2 sets of large CTs. You're only going to use 1 set unless you have a generator that you're connecting to it. Then you'll use the other set as well.
Kyle, I think I've got pretty well everything figured out.
I know you would have got there anyway on your own, but figured it would be a good starting point with a new product to get, you know, the guy who knows the product well. And Kyle, it's incredible your knowledge
Thanks.
base on this product. So yeah, super happy to have you join this. And Richard, don't spend too much time on your cruise, you know, messing around with this app, okay? That's the only ask I've got.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, the guys will be anxious to get to work.
No doubt. Well, Richard, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Really appreciate your partnership and great having the chance to go through this with you. I wish we had the opportunity to do it in the past with other products, but yeah, we're trying to do things a little differently with Fox, and we've got great support. So.
No, I appreciate it too very, very much, Kyle. I appreciate your taking your time. I know you would have drove up here, but as it is, just great to have that support. And
No worries.
and you as well, Danny. Appreciate you being online.
Of course.
It's always good to chat with you and Alex.
Likewise.
Yep. And Ed, we'll see you in a month or so.
Yeah, good stuff, Richard. Bye-bye.
I think guys.
Bye, Kyle.
Okay. You're still here. He's still here recording.